One of the most important documents a family can receive from a funeral home is the death certificate. So I just want to go over the death certificate process and also some important information that you as the family need to do to help that process for the funeral home. Once we sit down and meet with the family, there are some items that we gather to be able to complete that death certificate. Vital statistics, a lot of them are things that the family will know right off the top of their head, but a lot of times there's things like their mother and father's name with mother's maiden name, need to know the social security number, and then even where the loved one has was born. And so if you can gather some of that information, that will help speed up the process. Once we have all our information from the family, we will enter that information into the electronic death certificate system called TexEver for the state of Texas. So once we fill out our information, we enter the doctor's name in, and then it goes to his queue so that he can enter the cause of death and other information that he has pertaining to the death certificate. Once the doctor has finished his part and we've entered in the information that we get from the family, there is a facts of death verification that the state has us send to the family so that they can sign off on that. Now, this is very important. This is one of the important items that the family needs to look over very carefully because us as a funeral home, you know, we love being able to serve families, but we don't know this information that the family has given us. So, misspelled names, spelled dates, um, any of that vital information that is required can mess up processes like finalizing an estate if that information is incorrect. Here in the state of Texas, to amend the death certificate, it could take several months to be able to do that. So it is very important that the families look over that document. Every family should be presented with that document prior to it being filed with the state so that they can sign off on it. And once a family has signed off on that document, then the funeral home will file that with the state, and the state will be able to mail us the certified copies of the death certificate so that the family can receive those. So, just to summarize the important items, it is very important that the families gather the information needed and take the time to make sure that that information is correct, because it's a lot easier to take a day or two to get the correct information the first time than having to amend it and wait several months before you can finalize the estate of your loved one, close any bank accounts, or close out any life insurance policies, because certain items on the death certificate have to be correct, or else none of that information or none of those processes can be completed. So please just look over that, and before you sign off on that facts of death verification sheet, just make sure everything is correct, and it will make the process a lot easier for everybody.